So in this historical photograph, we discovered really for a long time you had this big block running right the way along the harbour line, facing the train station, and there wasn't actually any permeability running from the civic squares down through to the train station up until the wool stores were knocked down and reinstated with the shopping centre. So essentially what we wanted to do was to look at how this site was a transition area between the train and the King Square, and how we could start to create new links between the two, and how the building forms could do that. But we also felt that this point, if we go on to the next slide, is a fulcrum point within Fremantle. It's a point where people move in, they turn to the beach, they turn to the city, and we felt that this was quite an important focal point to draw people in the different directions. So with taking the new plaza, Piazza, and looking at the scale of that, we felt that there was opportunities, to create an emphasis at that point. Then by splitting the site, we were starting to address these ideas of linear movement through the site. And then in addressing the historical context about how Fremantle, you have these facades, these historical facades that contain these sites, and behind you have this complexity, the backland development, that you start to create this reconstituency that you can screen, you can create fabric, and all these different activities can go on behind. So as you see, we started to extrude the site and see it as being these uses that operate within this containment. So we have a hotel, which we believe is an appropriate use here at the front, related to the train station. You have the docks and the different cruise liners that come in. We have a commercial element addressing Cantonment Street, and then we have a raised residential element over retail, all contained within this envelope. Keep going. So this is us starting to define it. With this laneway moving through them, we create a new level of penetration to the site directly related to the entrance of the train station. And then we have a series of squares and courtyards incidents that happen along, one of which would be the sunken courtyard here. So as you see, the public realm then drawn shows the permeability about how we can move through. And in section as well, drawing people underneath the hotel element. So the figure ground really shows the mass of this would be the retail element, the commercial, possibly introducing a cultural exhibition element, and then we have the hotel with its restaurant and bar at the low level. And then as we go up, you see the fabric breaks down and we start to introduce this void. So this idea of the envelope, the screen, the design screen that moves around the building contains the different uses. It could be used for the flexibility of open space, how people can, it could be used as a means of ventilation or screening. And then this is the idea of how the tower would address the plaza with the scale. And then trying to feed in some kind of context and how it relates to the entrance and how this envelope would work. 4 minutes. With a more abstract representation of this lightweight tower, which references then the Port Authority's tower as well, with the scale, so that you have these elements that work down through the roundhouse, the history of these tall spire-like elements that you have in Fremantle. Kind of things. So you can go back to the last image just to finish.
Just to mention one thing, there's a particular emphasis on pedestrianisation and the potential for pedestrianising Queen Street. If you connect that through to the train station to give a different emphasis and take away the focus on cars in particular. There's potential for raising the road, for example, to reduce the speed of traffic.
In reference to the plan amendment, the trade-off with the very tall element was the fact that we were giving so much of the site back to the public realm.
10 seconds.
And therefore we kept most of the podium low, so that we could introduce this vertical element.